What's up and happy Monday to everybody. Welcome to the Casual Podcast. This is your boy, Brian, the Casual Brian, with another Casual Podcast. We got it on and popping this Monday. This podcast is brought to you by the Casual Brand Clothing, Casual Brand Pages, whatever you need to stay casual, we got it. We are coming to you live from Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and over here in the corner, we're coming to you live on Instagram Live. So we got it all. We got it all covered today. Coming to you from the new setup. Super excited. Finally got the new setup up. Uh, Ironically, you can't see the new setup, but trust me, it is gorgeous. I am so excited. Mike's a little hot today. I don't know what that's about, but yeah. Anyway, super excited to be coming to you live. Let's go ahead and switch these screens up. I mean, wow, last week was a crazy, crazy week. If you didn't know already, yes, last week I tested positive for COVID. I know it finally got your boy. 2 years, almost 2 years, I spent swerving COVID, and at the very end, it got me. Um, I don't want to I'm trying to be careful, because while I don't care, and it's no big deal to me. I mean, COVID is a big deal, but I mean, the fact that I had it is no big deal to me. I don't want to put other people's business out in the street, so I'll just say, um, I got it last week, um, probably around Monday, and Tuesday is when I started feeling sick. Um, it wasn't too bad. I felt sick, like this is a cold or something. Um, I went immediately to the store to get a test. I tested myself. I was negative, and so I just thought, okay, well, I must have got a cold. I might have just run myself down because I had been going a lot. I had a cousin in town. Was traveling back and forth to Jersey, so by train and stuff. Just a lot. I was doing a lot. I felt tired. As the night progressed, I started feeling more and more sick. I would say about 5 to 6, I was like, "Oh, I'm definitely sick." Um, Even though I was negative, I just instantly started taking Dayquil, and when the night came, I took NyQuil. Had chills, body aches, definitely body aches, um, but nothing really past that. Never had a fever, and I would say about 3 a.m. on Tuesday night, I woke up, I was sweating. Ever since then, I was like getting better and better and better. I don't really feel like I was fatigued, but I will say this. I felt like if I wanted to, I could stay in bed all day. It's a weird feeling because the way I've heard it described, most people say, if they did something, they felt very tired. I didn't feel like that. I felt, especially like on Thursday and on, I felt like I could go um to jujitsu or go work out or just do a regular day. But if I didn't get out of bed, I could sleep all day long. So that was like the weird feeling. I tested negative first yesterday, and then I tested negative again. But here's the confusing thing. So on my test, there was a faint blue line, right? But it only comes past the time that they tell you to look. So on the box it says any results past the time that they tell you, ignore because they can't be reliable. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna go after the stream and get tested from City MD. I feel like their tests will be more reliable. I can also do a PCR test. You know what I mean? I think that's the best approach. But yeah, that was the bulk of my week and just trying to manage. You know, um, it's a crazy experience. Kind of happy it's over. Um, you know what I mean? Because it definitely was a boogeyman trying to swerve it. Trying to swerve Omicron just feels almost impossible. And I'm pretty sure that more people have had it than think they've had it because it was very, very mild. for me. Now I'm boosted, so I don't know if my experience is an experience that most people have. But being vaccinated and boosted, I had a very mild experience. Um, you know, it just wasn't that bad. Um, so I say that to say that's why I say I'm happy that I got it and got it over with. Now I have super antibodies, uh, boosted, and I got the antibodies. So um, yeah, but that was pretty much my whole weekend just dealing with that. And I'm very excited, man. I got a lot of amazing people lined up for the podcast. A couple guests this week. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I want to do it. Um, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough figuring it out because I think I want to keep recording in the morning, but I have to get people's schedules. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to record in the morning. So everything will kind of be delayed. I'll record in the morning, and then starting next week, I'll start releasing uh interviews with people. That's at least that's the plan. You know what I mean? I don't we'll see. I don't know how it's going to actually end up, but that at least is the plan. Um I'm super excited about this too. I have I got a second screen finally, so now I can you know, toggle and stuff. My boy Murray James, like right in the window. I don't think you guys can see it. Oh yeah, you guys can't see it because I'm not sharing it, but I'll do that at the end. I might do some live tweets. So the next part I want to talk about was this Joe Rogan situation, which is very interesting. It's very very interesting because Joe Rogan made a statement yesterday, and then uh, clearly it was in works or in connection with Spotify because Spotify released a statement as well last night, and so basically they're going to be doing some things to try to keep more people from leaving their platform. This is the thing. A lot of people kind of laughed at Neil Young. You don't get it, man. Neil Young is a very influential artist. A lot of people have a lot of respect for Neil Young, namely Joni Mitchell, and there's a lot of people who have respect for Joni Mitchell. It's just not it's something that you wanna get out in front of. You know what I mean? Like, Spotify, they were trying to see it, wait it out. They can't. They can't afford, like, a big, big artist. Not saying that N Neil Young and Joni Mitchell are not big artists. They're huge artists, but they're not r as relevant today to younger people, and that's what's gonna sway them. So let's say, like, Drake if he decides take my music down. Taylor Swift, she's always waiting for a reason to take her music down. So they got out in front of it. Joe kind of gave his side of the story, and then he gave a pseudo apology. I don't think it's going to be good enough, um, but it could be. One thing I saw in the comment section was The Rock. He's interested on going on the show. That would be a lot that would really go in favor of Joe. The Rock has a lot of fans, not necessarily Joe fans. There's definitely overlap. And so that's kind of the thing. Joe doesn't need overlap. He needs somebody that, um, for more or less, is on the other side of the fence. Now, look, I have been a fan of Joe Rogan's podcast, more so than Joe Rogan himself. But um, oh, here we got a good question. I'm gonna put this up in a second. Let me finish this statement, and I'm gonna put your question up. So I've been a fan of Joe Rogan's podcast more so than Joe Rogan himself. I mean, I watch his comedy specials. Um, I have nothing against him, and I love his podcast because I think it's a great place to hear conversation. It's a great example of how you should have conversations. And then he has a wide range of people that I enjoy listening to. I think he's been wrong on COVID, but that's my opinion. So I'm not for. Let me put this question up, and then I can kind of answer it. Why censor Joe Rogan when he doesn't censor religious misinformation. Jehovah's Witness is responsible for 1,000 deaths yearly due to refusal of blood transfusions. So, okay, I don't know if any of that is true. And what I was going to say is that I don't believe in censoring Joe Rogan. I think that if you don't want to watch Joe Rogan, if you don't want to listen, my issue with a lot of people that want to censor Joe Rogan is they don't listen to Joe Rogan. So, you know what I mean? Like you really shouldn't be weighing in on the matter. The issue is for people who do, like myself, who do listen to Joe Rogan. Um, do I want to continue to support him? Or can I support him while disagreeing with specifics? So up until now, my approach was I'm going to listen to him, and I don't, and I just simply disagree with what he has to say. I think that's basic. I don't want to say common sense. I think that's it's something that we have to learn how to do. I mean, we have a country filled with many different people with many different perspectives. It's kind of ridiculous to think that we'll all agree. Now, with the pandemic, it's kind of a different situation because we're all in this boat and we're all trying to move forward and get to some sense of normalcy. And I think that what Joe was saying in his response is that he could do a better job of balancing the boat. I think he can. I do agree with that. And I think that if he does that, um, it'll help him out a lot. And like especially in the format, have you ever seen his podcast with the people from Twitter and Tim Pool? I thought that was a good idea. I thought that was a good form. It got a little bit like he said, she said, you know what I mean, at the end of the day, because a lot of the stuff couldn't be confirmed. But I do think it would be great. Maybe have like, Sanjay and some of the other doctors that he's had on that are very controversial. I don't know. I don't know. I think that I don't think it's over. I think it was smart to get out and try to stop it, but I think that there's going to be at least one more ball to drop, and that will be bad for Spotify. Um, I think a common sense thing that was suggested that I don't think takes away from anything is just put a disclaimer out there. Say, um, simply just say these opinions do not represent Spotify. Uh, we recommend that you speak with your doctor and those kind of things. It's simple. I don't think that hurts. I don't think that it delegitimizes anything. Just do that. You know what I mean? I don't understand why. But I'm not for canceling people. Um, I think that there are other options, and I think that a lot of times the people that want to cancel people don't even consume the content themselves. So I don't like that. I think it's an overreach of influence. It's influence that you don't really have, and you're trying to force influence on other people, platforms, on other people's lives, and to me, that's just a reach. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't think this Joe Rogan thing is over. Also, I think that with respect to the media, I hate the term mainstream media because it's all mainstream to me, whether it's good morning, what's up, man? Whether it's Fox, MSNBC, any to me, it's people giving narrative, people not giving narrative. People trying to present objective, factual information, and then people trying to give you their opinions. Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, they're trying to give you spin. They're trying to give you their opinion because opinion sells. They want Joe Rogan to be controversial. Period. They don't care what he's saying. They don't care if they agree with him or disagree with him. They want Joe Rogan to be controversial because people click on it and people talk about it. And that's all it is. That's all it is. They're going to keep talking about Joe Rogan because people get upset. They want people upset. And this isn't a frustrating thing, It seems like all the media does is make boogeyman and scary stories. And then they like feed off the fear. So I'm not a big fan of it. I don't buy it. I don't really care. I have my own opinions about things, and I'm also able to disagree. Like, for example, I love Dave Chappelle. I don't agree with some of the stuff that he says. You know, I don't agree with some of the stuff that my own family says. You know, um, I don't understand why agreement is the only way that we can be friends or we can consume content, you know? I mean, geez, I love anime and they've had blackface in in anime for like the last like 100 years. I mean, come on, let's be real, man. You gotta pick and choose. So anyway, the Joe Rogan thing will go on, and I think we're definitely not far from it. But on a lighter note, we're gonna end on a lighter note. How about these freaking playoffs? Jeez, man. I mean, I just when you think that it couldn't get better last night, right? Man, just week after week of consistently awesome play. I am losing my mind. This is out of control. Joe Burrow. I mean, I'm a little bit like the Spurs. Oh yeah, that do the Spurs suck this year? It's weird to not have the Spurs be consistent. That's like the consistent thing through my life, the Spurs being good. But yeah, I mean, who I can't believe that Mahomes threw the pick. Do you do spoilers in sports? I don't know. I don't talk about sports that much, or at least football. So there's no spoilers. The game's over. The scores are out. Everyone knows who's going to the Super Bowl. So no spoilers. But man, I thought for sure Mahomes was going to drive down that field. But like my friend called it, it's going to be sweet karma. Um, and yeah, it's I'm doing good, man. How are you? Appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate everyone stopping by. We got a pretty live stream going today. Maybe because I have Instagram and YouTube, Twitch. Also, man, I realize I haven't given a shout out to the podcast listeners. If you're listening on the podcast, thank you so much, and be sure to subscribe. And all that are listening and watching right now, be sure to drop a comment. I appreciate all the comments so far, and be sure to like and subscribe. But yeah, man, the playoff games have been crazy. I don't know which one I'll say is better. This last yesterday or last week? Because last week you got the Bills Chiefs, and the Bills Chiefs was probably the highlight of the playoffs. Um, it makes me sad. This was the first week, though. I'll say that I was sad because Saturday there was no football on Saturday, and I realized that we're coming to the end. You know what I mean? We're coming to the end, and thankfully basketball is going to kick up into high gear, but I don't know. I don't know about you, but I just can't really get into regular season basketball. It just doesn't do it for me. It does it for me more than regular season baseball, but regular season basketball is just kind of like, we're just playing for seats. And then the playoffs. Last year, I think, even if I'm being honest, last year I wasn't even into the playoffs until like the last two rounds. Hopefully that won't be the case this year, but you never know. You never know. You never know. But what I do know is that we're going to end. Actually, I'm not going to get my picks yet. I'm probably going to rock with the Bengals. I wanted to see 49ers Bengals a rematch. My friend, his father used to play for the Bengals. He was on that Super Bowl team that went against Joe Montana and lost, of course, because it's Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. Come on, that team was stacked. But I think I'm gonna rock with the Bengals. I think I'm going with Bengals. I had Joe Burrow. He was my quarterback on fantasy. I'm rocking with him. I'm gonna keep rocking with him all the way out. You know what I mean? How can you not rock with the guy? I mean, he's a mad lad. He's an absolute mad lad. Like this guy right here, Murray James. Love him. Chinese New Year. Oh, that's right, Chinese New Year. Let's go. Let's go. We're gonna end with some live tweets. If you haven't been on the stream, it gets live. If you're listening in the podcast, I will do a good job of reading. Main priority this week, D-Rock. If you don't know who D-Rock is, you probably are not a social person. D-Rock is the man, dude. Game changer. My main priority is to get things scheduled. Get everything ready to go, Megan McCain with the tweet that's too long. Oh, no, it's about Joe Rogan. I already talked about Joe Rogan, so I'm not going to talk about Joe Rogan again. They aren't upset. Everyone's talking about Joe Rogan. I guess it's a Joe Rogan kind of morning. So I don't want to talk too much about Joe Rogan because everyone's talking about Joe Rogan. And I already did like a 10-minute spiel on Joe Rogan. So anyway, the time for the stream has come to an end. Thank you for stopping by on Instagram. We're going to close you out. And everybody who stopped by, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Um, yeah, just be sure to check us out. We come every morning around 10, and then we post this at 4 p.m. So if you ever miss it, you can check it out. Appreciate everybody coming through on man, Twitch really showed up today. A lot of love. Appreciating y'all. YouTube came through. Facebook, I think, came through as well. A lot of love for everybody. Hope everyone has a great day. And until tomorrow, stay casual.